Okay, it's time. Welcome back, everybody. Week 7 of the podcast. This week we have Ryuujin, we have Firas, wrong server, and we have Aiden Smith, Poggers. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. Well, I mean, most of you guys know everyone here, but Ryuujin, have you been on? You've been on the podcast. You were
I
here
was
with
on the first week.
with Pat. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Pat the first week. I still haven't uploaded that because the audio issues are just like so abhorrent that I don't know if I can actually fix it.
Oh, what happened?
But there's just like audio tearing in the recording, and it's really weird. But yeah. Besides that, if you want to introduce yourself again for those who haven't seen you or those who like kind of know you, you know, you're that guy who gets all the records in PvE.
I'm that PvE guy. I'm an SSA. My name is Ryuujin. In game has 2 Chinese characters, which is also Ryuujin, so it's a repetitive Ryuujin. So everyone, good to be here.
Firas. For those of you who actually don't know Firas, that's him right there.
I'm on the wrong server.
It's true.
What else do you need to know?
It's true. Firas is the Nyx user. He's the Nyx Praha guy,
yeah,
the guy who forces all these units that work really well together.
And then
it's not really
it
forced.
Worked after they buffed him. It was kind of weird. And then what else is there? That's it. What else do you need to know? And I have 8 gens that don't benefit me in Special League.
You summoned 8 gens?
I farmed 1 from Hall of Heroes, and I summoned
Yeah, I was about to
8.
say. Yeah, well, yeah, Jin was a whole hero, so
Yeah.
you can
I farmed
technically have
1. I summoned 8 after that.
I have 0.
I had a similar problem with Light Undyne. I summoned 6 of them, and then she became a Hall of Heroes.
Light Undyne.
That's rough.
Oh, Ikasha.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I'm known for.
All right.
Wait, Chris, you're on European server?
That's right.
Yeah,
I switched over for $10.
You know what's really funny is we're all in those Summoners War chat, right? So I always assumed you're in global.
Everyone thinks I'm in global. The Canada flag kind of
let me tell you a funny story about Firas before we start the podcast.
Oh, great.
So one time we go for lunch. We're going out for some shawarma. He's like, "Can you do a room cleanup on my account?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "I'll buy you lunch." I was like, "All right, cool." So we meet up. We have lunch. This is like maybe the first week I've ever met him. I found him from JMax stream. He's like, "Dude, you live in Calgary. We should hang out." I was like, "Okay, let's hang out." So we go get shawarma. We talk. We do the room cleanup. We just mess around, play the game a little bit. The usual good shenanigans, right? We get the usual good shit done. And then he's like, "By the way, I'm on Europe server." I'm like, "Why are you on Europe server?" He's like, "The times just lined up for work." And I was like, "No, they don't. Like you work normal hours. Like that's a complete lie." And he's like, "I just really wanted those 300 crystals." And I look at him dead in the eye, and I stop the vehicle and I park on the side and I go, "You do know that 300 crystals is like $10, right?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Shit, it is."
To be fair, I never intended to spend on this game, okay? I ended up being here a little longer than I planned. So 300 crystals became a pretty big joke after I started to spend $1 here and there. But
I don't think anyone really intended to start off spending in the game.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Like for me, I never really intended to until I got like really hooked into it.
Yeah.
I spend on every game I start playing. I spend like $30 to $50. I always buy the like starting packs because I feel like if you don't buy the starting packs, you just don't get the experience of the game, Like you're just missing out on something that's important. Anyone agree or disagree?
I was told
50-50.
if I was ever going to spend when I first started playing, I needed to buy the beginner packs. And that was the first thing I've ever bought in any mobile game. I played Clash of Clans for like 2-3 years before that. So, yeah, now here we are. I don't even want to know how much, but, it is what it is.
I think Summers was the first time I ever spent anything. And then every time I picked up a different game, I think the only other game I ever touched where I actually spent $1 was probably Arc Knights. I was at Tyler's house at that time.
He came over to my house and he's like, "What is this game?" I was like, "It's fun. I'm re-rolling." He's like, "All right."
Just because I was there,
And he
I
just
tried it
he
out.
starts an account, plays it, and just spends in the first day. I'm like, "All right, sick. I love it."
Yeah, and then I dropped it pretty
Hmm.
quick. And that was it. I should have spent that in Summoner's War instead. No, here
What was
I am.
Arknights? It has a familiar tone.
Tower
It's
defense
a tower
game.
defense game.
Oh, okay.
But with like
PvE only tower
characters
defense
in it
game.
instead, yeah. I'm a huge fan of tower defense games, but
Yeah.
things with tower defense, it gets
You know what?
pretty
One type of game style that I played other mobile game, which was I think it was called Fire Age. It was one of those where you build kingdoms and you build armies, and it takes like a really long time at like the higher levels to build, but
Mm-hmm.
putting money like creates obviously like just makes it faster. And the only way like you're winning, you're in those big alliances or guild, and you're just fighting each other, tossing armies, and then either they disappear or they beat the guy. But if yours just magically your entire army just dies, you either need to like wait 2 months to rebuild it or spend a lot of money. Those are
Yep. Spend the
those are
big money.
not fun.
All right, so we've digressed already. I mean, we didn't really digress if we just started. But anyways, topic one. Who here likes April Fools?
I don't care.
No,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Really?
I mean,
Man.
it's fun to read them, like
They're real fun.
the extreme things that like people are like the something that will never happen, or like, but everyone kind of knows, unless you like actually weren't paying attention that it's April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Wait, you're referring to that
the
specific
Summoners War
poll?
one specific was kind of like a giveaway. It was a dead
Yeah.
giveaway. I saw it. It said swap.1 and I knew it was fake. The first thing I read was, okay, TOA auto. I was like, this is fake. There's no way.
Immediately fake.
There's
Yep.
no way they would ever add this.
Wait,
But
why not?
no, I just meant April Fools in general. Like, I'm a big fan of like small, harmless, practical jokes. I think it's lighthearted and enjoyable. Like, so on my Discord server, I changed the icon to have like a ping notice, so people just kept clicking.
So many
thinking that
people
they got
did that. I was so annoyed. on
And then-
April Fools.
He got me.
And then
with it.
later in the day, I actually just removed the image and just left a blank image with a ping, so it would look like the server was broken.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what the? I was like, okay, never mind. Everyone's doing it. I had like my entire list did that.
Yeah, and then I took all my emotes and I changed them all to once howdy because I thought it was funny.
That was a good one, actually.
I did.
I don't
see
know.
that.
It's just like I like April Fools. I think it's lighthearted and it brings a lot to the game. I'm happy personally that Comtuus decided to make a little notice. I thought it was fine. I think anyone who is like honestly offended by it maybe need to lighten up a little bit. I mean, I get it. Got your hopes up, but
Wait,
didn't
why
really
don't
do
you
anything
think,
serious about it.
Why don't you
Wasn't-
think people TOA repeat is not happening?
If TOE auto repeat would happen, what's the point of having a leaderboard for it? It only resets once a month, right?
Wouldn't you still have to manual though? To
Yeah.
actually get
You wouldn't
a
be able
leader-
to auto to beat it.
Auto repeat it. It would just auto start the next stage.
Yeah, but you'd still
Yeah,
have to
well, then
manual
you
No,
would
but
have
the
to
manual would still be faster, is what I'm
Yes.
saying.
because then
Yeah,
there's a
you
chance of you
could,
wiping.
but like there's just like no reason for them to do that, in my opinion. That's the thing, right? Like, why would they do that?
Just
Right.
because
Auto repeat is meant for something that is meant to be consistently repeated, like farming, right? We farm
Mhm.
dungeons to repeat farm them. We need to farm them indefinitely for better runes. You just clear TOA once a month, each stage once a month.
Okay, but what if I'm just
And that's
lazy?
it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
I
lazy.
think it's just
I'm
meant for
lazy.
lazy
I
people.
want to repeat it. I don't want to sit there manual. I'm used to it now. That's what I'm saying.
It's just not that much, right?
It's not that much.
It's
but
not that much. The thing that okay, so here's my mentality when it comes to auto repeat, just as a function, right? Auto repeat as a function is designed in a way that if you see auto repeat, you know that is content that is supposed to be very like fairly simple and easy to do. You can auto repeat it. You don't have to put like much time or effort into it. Whereas like with TOA, obviously as endgame players, it's really easy, right? But like when you start the game, it's not easy. And so if you can auto repeat it right off the bat, it sets this like false precedence that it's like super easy to do, and like you shouldn't even have to like try or pay any attention or learn any game mechanics. You should just be able to like clear it, no effort.
Yeah.
I'm still lazy about it though.
Yeah.
What if
I'm never gonna take that bait from us because I don't
No.
care like how
I
we think about it for our own personal that doesn't matter. That's not relevant to the point of it, right?
Because I got to the point since we've been playing. Well, most of us have been playing for so long, right? That we consider TOA like you're right that it's not really technically a repeat because everything's different and you should technically do everything different. But for us, it's like we're just literally like hoping just auto through normal, right? Because it's
Yeah, well, we just
not
outrun
really
the
thinking about
content
it.
so hard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like we outrun any form of bad RNG that comes to TOA.
Except hell.
Yeah, hell is the real killer.
I mean,
you-
hell's just
I haven't even
optional
done it yet.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rewards are not worth the amount of work that takes at all.
Well, people in general should still push to what was it? What gives you the Devilmon? 15
10.
stars?
10.
10 stars.
10?
15 is
Yeah,
OD.
At least
that's
get the
easy
10.
enough to get.
10 is very obtainable as an endgame player.
But even
Very
at 10,
obtainable.
I don't want to do it. That's.
I do the 10. I definitely do.
Maybe I'm just really lazy about TOA though. Maybe.
Have you ever tried?
I did. I actually got like 20 something stars. Like when it first came out, that's when I first enjoyed it. And then the
But
next.
didn't they nerf it to make it easier as well?
They nerfed it.
Yeah, they
and
made
then
it easier. I didn't want to do it anymore.
like every other month, or I feel like they buff certain stages where it's just incredibly annoying. It's the annoying part because there's some stages where it's like it takes forever, or it's just straight RNG. And the RNG is
Mainly the RNG, because the way I see TOA is like you can kind of like, it's kind of weird to say, it's like draft it like RTA, where like, okay, I know these units are coming, I need this, this, and this to blah 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 against whatever in TOA hell specifically. So that's
But on
how.
the plus side, you can farm while you're doing TOL. So,
Well, you get, but usually I'm doing something else though.
well, usually the argument for people is it takes away time from other stuff that's like important. It's like, it adds more time, like where you actually have to play the game. Yes, but the common argument was always like, I could be farming instead, and now there's like no excuse. Now you could just always be farming instead.
Oh, it's not wrong.
Right.
If you have the time.
You rush
like,
TOA
sitting there.
hard, and you don't even do TOA hell.
That's when I had time. It was because I'm working now. I don't really rush anything. So it's like the thought of sitting there to manual something when I could still be doing something else. Like, yeah, I'll be farming.
You could probably auto close to 10 stars. You could probably auto up to 8 stars, I think.
You think so?
Mm,
Yeah, because you don't have to do
I-
everything on 2. You don't have to do everything on 3 stars.
No, you don't. But I think I found like even abusing all the nat 5s, I would still just fail multiple times. I'm like, you know what, forget it. I'll just do my regular farming.
I mean, if you're auto farming anyways, does it really matter that much?
I don't know. No, but that's what I'm
Auto
saying.
farm
Okay,
to something slower.
if you have a team that gets me 10 stars easy, we'll talk about it. That sounds
Just
like a YouTube video.
pray they don't make it anti-Neftis like they do every single stage, except for Nyx, because that's what they do for TOA
You
hell.
can't even use Nyx most stages too.
So just
no,
make
there's some
sure.
stages where
can't be used.
passives are not like it can't be used. There's like
Well, you just don't check that star. You know,
Well,
you can check as many as you want or need. It's just that.
Yeah.
If you're only going to 10 stars, you don't have to check any stars.
yeah.
You can literally just do all 10 stages if you really want to.
There's definitely a lot of stars though that you could just check because it literally does nothing. You just bring
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's the really nice one for if you have a Tiana. It's like the counterattack one and the will to start. You just bring in Tiana. GG easy.
It's true.
It's I don't know. Getting 10 stars is not super difficult. Getting more than 10
I'm not
stars is
complaining
a
about it. I
lot
wanna
of work.
Because there's not, you don't have to do it. Like, even though we can farm and do arena, I still don't really do arena. Like, rarely do I touch arena.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I do it to get the Devilmon, and that's it. I don't buy the LDs. I don't care to do arenas. Just some content I just don't feel like doing, and that's part of it. It's not like I'm complaining about it, though. But yeah, that's just me. That's my rant.
But yeah,
It almost is like you are though, right? Like you are almost complaining about it. You're like, it's too much
Most of
work,
them
so I don't want to do it. It's like, okay, then don't do it, right?
Well,
But then
yeah,
you're
well,
like,
that's what
I
I'm
wish
saying.
it was
I
less
just wanna
work,
do it.
but then that's the complaint, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like you accept that you don't want to
give you a
do it,
little
but
bit.
then you
I'll give you a
complain that
little
it's too much work.
I mean, everyone's different. Like, there's some people who love arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all comes down to like, exactly what Fair says. Like, is he lazy enough to do it? But if he's not, it's not that he's lazy. It's if he wants to do it because he cares for it or not.
That's really it.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just like maybe even like one evening, I was like, well, let me do some TOA. And eventually I do it. I still have like, what, 10 days left? Or are we under 10 days? Eventually I'll
what?
get that feeling within 10 days before it resets. And that's the same with like Arena. The last Sun, like I got my first G3 finish. Some guys in chat are talking about it. Because I was just a bit complaining about Arena, and then I actually got G3
Last week?
last Sunday, yeah.
Oh,
But
congrats.
I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like doing Arena. I did some wings Sunday morning. For me, 2 p.m. is a cutoff for Arena because I'm on the EU server. And you know, I'll do some rush wings, and then whatever. If I finish G3, I get it. I didn't end up rushing, and I still finished G3. But it was just that morning I did the wings. I finished G3, and I just got it. So this is when I feel like doing it, I do it. And I coincidentally buy something with it, like I did with the LD pieces. Got G3 on accident. That's pretty much what Zig says, but that's actually what it is. G3 by accident. But then most arena days I don't even finish C1 because I just don't touch it at all. And that's the same with T-Way. Eventually I feel like, well, I feel like doing it. I do it, and that's it. And that's it. Low key flexing.
What was your AD for your
Bison or not fire. Carnell, Nyx, Ariel. What was the other thing? Ritesh.
Wait, who's Carnell?
what's
Carnell's the
Fire
Fire
Bison.
Bison.
Best unit.
Oh, fire, yeah. Okay. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
that's not bad. Ariel though. New meta.
yeah?
Okay.
tough.
Question though.
The way I ruined it. Yeah.
Since we're talking about content that we like or dislike. Did you guys read the April Fool's notice?
Yeah, I
Yes.
did. Yep.
Firas, did you read it?
Most of it, but I probably forgot all of it too.
Okay. I kind of wanted to go over it and see, like, is there anything in here that you guys think would actually be like moderately okay to implement in the game? Like, some things are like obscene, like ridiculous, right? Like Sylvia Fusion, obscene, ridiculous. Never happen. It would be really bad for a lot of things.
It will
It would be
piss
horrible.
off so
Um,
many Sylvia owners
Yeah,
though.
So-
we'd see,
yeah.
we'd see a lot of Sylvia in Siege too. That would be pain.
Yeah.
So like not necessarily the Sylvia fusion, but a new fusion would be cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily not Sylvia, just maybe a new unit or something different. I don't know, but it'd be cool. The thing is like when you do a fusion, it's for a specific type of content, right? So what would that content be that we really need a fusion for? I can't think of anything. So
Mm-hmm.
like maybe something for TOAL, something with some really cool passive. Some kind of new Nat 5. That'd be kind of interesting. Because I think a lot of people do need help clearing that, but that's kind of end game content, so I don't know.
Do we want another PvE fusion unit?
I mean,
Is that really what we want?
Like, what would we need though?
if we're
We have basically everything.
considering like the majority of the community, right? Like what are they really trying to push for if they're already set on Guild Wars, Siege, Arena, all that other nonsense? It's probably like clearing TOA hell stuff. Like what else is there really to do? So
I feel like you just start introducing more PvP specific units. I mean, you have Katarina already and Jean, right? Like Jean can be used in both, but
Mhm.
we are like 2As basically take the role of all of the fusion Nat 5s when it comes to PvE.
yeah.
Like why fuse any Nat 5s for PvE when you could just make 2As?
Yeah.
I definitely would
that's
say though,
okay.
no Molly for the fusion.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh, yeah.
We
I mean,
would,
I would like
we would see a
one,
lot
but
of
I don't-
draws. There'd be a lot of draws
Yeah.
in Arena, in Siege, in Guild Wars. You just see draw over and over because people would just like they'd bring in Chasun versus Molly, and then Molly would kill something, and then it'd be Molly versus Chasun all the way to the end.
Yeah, I'm not saying even that for like the G3 or the high like top end siege players, but it's more for like just imagine like the fighter 3s and then the the conqueror 2s like around that vicinity, and they're just tossing a whole bunch of that type of AD fighting each other. Nothing ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
Siege would be cancer. It'd just
I'm
be
not, and that's well for them. Well, not so much now because it is nerfed. It's not as prevalent in my opinion.
Molly's not the strong part of Siege.
Yeah.
It's all the other units you pair with Molly that are really strong, like Tasarian. Tasarian is wild. Yeah. I don't know. I was just curious if you guys thought there was anything in that like joke notice that you thought would be relevant to the game that might be okay.
I think the
Overall, like
feedback
it's
system
not a
is pretty
lot.
cool.
Yeah, the feedback system would be cool. But
I
I
mean,
feel
like,
like
this game.
I feel
we've
like there'd
talked
be
about
too
that
much
a lot.
trolling, like with the surveys in game. So I don't know how you'd implement the system, but I do like the idea. Just not sure
But
how to do it.
I just think in general, more like them wanting to get more feedback just from players is great. Because we don't know, like, besides the fact that they would take a lot of the podcasts, right, and other suggestions made from Reddit, or if they hear from something else, but knowing that they are getting feedback directly from players, I think it would be like great knowing that they're getting direct feedback.
All right. I mean, there's not too much to talk about when it comes to that. So,
Yeah.
Not
is there
really.
anything else you guys want to kind of bring up between like anything that's happened in the last like week or two in terms of the game stuff? But otherwise, just get into the anniversary and then talk about some RTA stuff.
Yeah.
That horrible anniversary teaser.
What teaser?
True. True. True.
Yeah, I heard there's a new scroll. I don't know if anyone's actually confirmed that. But
I don't think it's confirmed. I think it's just it's currently a rumor and a prediction.
so was it
The
data mined or
the
not?
green one you're talking about that I've been
Yeah.
like, sort of seeing.
It's not actually a green one. It's a mock-up of like
Yeah.
someone's idea of it.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't. Was it? Does anyone know if it was data mined or not?
I have no clue.
I don't think so. Everyone would have seen it and everyone would know about it if it was state of mind.
It'll be all over Reddit.
True.
Pretty much. Yeah, okay. So I guess let's talk about it. Topic 2. Let's talk about the anniversary. Predictions.
Well,
I mean, I did this last year. My job is done. I never need to make another prediction ever again.
Yeah, you drilled
But
him
you didn't
last
bring it
year.
back.
It's up to you guys now to make predictions on the anniversary.
Okay, wait. I wanna say that if they're gonna release a new Transcendence scroll, if they are releasing a new one, the only thing they could do to make it better is that it was called the Ancient one, right? Ancient Transcendence that gave you a brand
Yep.
new Nat 5. So it'll be an Ancient Transcendence with a blessing.
A built-in blessing.
With a blessing. So
Yes,
you
please.
get 2 new options. And then next year, I'm gonna go for not just this year, the 8th year anniversary. It's gonna be Elemental Scroll with 2 new units.
You're
going
jumping a
double.
whole year ahead. Holy.
I'm jumping a whole fucking
This
year.
guy is crazy. He's
Calling it
jumping an
now.
entire year ahead.
It feels like you're trying to drag it out without ever saying the Transcendence LD scroll.
I'm trying to really avoid that.
That's never gonna happen.
Never.
It's never gonna happen. Don't say
Hey,
it, Billy.
we
It's never gonna happen.
we never
We know
thought
what
the Transcendence
happens if
scroll
that
was never going to happen either.
Billy, I don't want to quit the game. Don't make that happen. I don't care. I don't have an
That's the
LD 5. I do not want an LD Transcendence scroll in this game.
That's the eject scroll.
That's
That's
the
what comes
that's
out
the
to you
com to
guys.
with red button. That's the com to. I've always said it. Com to with red button. When the
I
game
agree.
is dead,
What
they're
about
gonna release an LD Nat 5 Transcendence scroll, and then I
What-
quit.
what about LD Legendary though? Is that a possibility as the new
That's a
scroll?
possibility. I don't think it would be now. I think that's a possibility further down the road. I think that's like a maybe this year Christmas.
That would be a caution button, not an eject
Yeah.
button. But yeah.
Yeah,
It would be an eased caution button. Although
That's-
to be perfectly honest, if they release an LD Legendary scroll, I would rather them give it out for free in an event.
Yes, I agree.
Because I think that would be a better showing of how they
agree.
want to implement things into the game. Because the
I don't
second
think
they
it
make
should
it
be bought.
available for purchase,
Yeah.
you know that it's gonna come back, right?
It's gonna be
But if it's
crazy.
free from an event, there's no guarantee it comes back. Or they can moderate how they want to put it out there more often. So
For sure.
kind of crazy. So you think we're gonna get a blessing?
Yeah.
the
Ancient
Transcendence.
Transcendence scroll with a blessing.
Okay.
This year.
Anyone else? Thoughts?
I'm hoping for new monsters.
Didn't we just get new monsters?
I know, but I want new monsters.
Why? Why do you
Well,
want
because
new
okay,
monsters?
so the Onis were good. The Oni Myojas are kind of lackluster, and I have a lot of scrolls saved up.
I see.
But I always like more content, more things to try out, right? Obviously, like getting new stuff is just more work for them. But I like new monsters. I've always said that every single time they release new monsters so far, it's always been humanoids. I want creatures. I want monsters. I want animals. Something new, something fresh.
There's a lot of mythical creatures they haven't touched on yet.
Yeah,
Kind of cool.
that's I've always like said that, and I just like that. What got me into this game before was like like the nice art plus like I have like this mythical monster, dragon, chimera, etc. Right, and then obviously there's always gonna have humanoid stuff, but it's always just been like releases of humanoids so far, and it's just kind of getting stale for me.
I think I want 2As more than I want new units. Like bring back those monsters you're talking about, like Tark, for example, right? Like bring back
Yeah.
Tark C, bring them into a 2A option, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be cool.
I think for anniversary, what I would like to see, I don't know, I don't think they'll do it, but a craft your own ancient legend rune. That's what I really want.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Ooh.
Craft your own.
Craft your own ancient
Not the
legend.
+6, not the +6 nonsense. Just to craft your own ancient legend rune, and then ancient legend grind and ancient legend gem for 7th anniversary.
Give us a way to get grinds. Yeah, exactly.
As part of the event, like the typical craft your rune event gives you a legend gem and a legend grind, same thing but ancient. So I would love that.
I think as long as you can't roll it to +6, it's probably fine.
Nope,
right?
definitely not. No
Yeah.
+6. Just
Yeah.
the stats you want.
I like getting a craft your rune event once every I don't know, twice a year. Twice a year seems fine.
It is twice a year so far, right? Or has
Yeah.
been, or they increased it?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
I really like the craft your own rune event because it's very free to play friendly. Like you can farm a shit ton and get really unlucky, but you can also get it on the first 3 rolls, right?
Yep. And I'm against the +6 thing because of just how, I mean, I guess better runes aren't the worst thing ever, but so many people, like only 1 in 16 got triple roll, or the quad roll for the +6 event. So it just, I don't know, it puts people at a disadvantage.
It
Force
definitely inflates the quad speed roll
Yep.
for like the community, right?
So I'm cool with
I'm
it
like
being just craft the substats. That's what you, not a +6.
I'm on a fence with it. I'm okay with it, but obviously I'm not one of the people that actually got a quad.
I also didn't get a quad. I did get a triple, but I
I
didn't.
didn't even get a triple. I got both
I'm
of
honestly
my
not against +6. I think it's fine to have in the game because it gives people, I mean, it gives people hope, right? It gives people a chance to get something that is extremely unlikely. Right? Both
I guess
none of mine got another speed roll, but like I don't care. I really don't care, right? I know tons of people who got like a 24, 28 speed rune. I'm like, sick, congrats. Like simple as that, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just because, like, I guess maybe I spent too much time at Giants farming, and so many other people got faster Swift runes than me from farming there for
that's the annoying
4
part,
years.
though. You
I
have
mean, that's
noticed
just the
that
game.
Yeah,
fewer
it is.
people.
It is just the game, but the game didn't have this event, so
Yeah, but the event is like just it's just another opportunity at the exact same thing, right?
well, a much better opportunity, a very very good chance. So uh, that's kind of
You
my
had
thing.
the way I look at it is you had the equal chance as anybody else did. If not a higher chance, because you, as someone who farms more, are more likely to get a perfect rune with 18 speed as well before you roll it, right? Whereas there are a lot of people who can't get that, but still get
Yeah.
lucky. But I mean, it's an opportunity thing, right? Everybody gets the exact same equal opportunity, and I think that is one of the most fair things you can ever have in a gacha game, especially a gear gacha.
And then you have the people that don't play as much who actually get lucky, like say like a 30 speed run, but they'll never get a +5 legendary speed grind on it.
That's
Or
fair.
just max it out. Or just like, because they're not there to min max. They're just there. They just got lucky. They got a 30 speed rune on something and they're really happy about it, but then they have a +2 speed grind on
Oh, that hurts.
it.
Don't say that. But yeah, I
I'm
get
just
that.
thinking, yeah.
The other thing I think is, obviously, I think it's going to be an anniversary HOH in addition to the normal one.
True.
So I don't know what units are on the rotation for the anniversary HOH. I don't think it's anything good, if I remember.
Yo, just let us choose one from all the old ones.
That'd be cool.
Just
I'm
choose
down.
one from all the old ones. Why not,
That would
right?
definitely be cool. Yeah. It's definitely at this point where it's like we don't want that old last 5, right? Many of us have already been, even like not from the very beginning, but at least like
Dude, I just want to go
year
get that gin. I don't have a gin yet.
Give me the Luna one. That wasn't
trade
even on
you.
global.
No, that
Like,
wasn't on global, so we
was
don't get
on-
that.
Yeah, but give it to all of us. Come on now.
I just want Jin. I just need more speed leads for Siege.
I
Yeah.
actually summoned a Jin, but only one, so I'll take it.
Yeah. All those people can pick up a Melia. You could
Oh,
pick
that's
up a
right.
Carcano. Wait, no, it was the wind one, wasn't it? That was HOH.
Yeah.
Well, you could pick up Skillos for your Carcano. Skillos for Triana. There's so many good options if you can just pick any like HOH back then, right? I think pairing those two things up. So you pair you either create the pick a 4-star event and then you either give skill ups or you just pick any old HOH. Whatever works. Both are like similar. Both are similar.
Or pick your LD Nat 4 event.
You know
How
how
about no?
you
How about
really
no?
you really
Everyone
want that,
goes with
don't you?
Tableau.
You just want every guild in the top siege to everybody has a Martina.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Think about that for a second.
That's
Think
a
about that
bad,
for a second.
bad
Every
idea.
single player in the
Well,
top
actually,
20 siege will have a Martina now.
Well, yeah, or Tableau, or everyone on the planet's either gonna have Tableau or Martina.
No,
honestly,
everybody
like,
just picks. Even if you have a Martina, you just pick another Martina because why not?
in my opinion, I actually like fighting twins now.
Yeah, because you have so many Dovas.
Well, I have the I fought enough Martinas to know like
Yeah.
what to bring, and I already have like a lot of counter set up for it. So it's actually more annoying that I don't have or someone's not bringing twins towards us.
That's true. I don't really care. I don't do.
But
top
I get
end
your point.
things, but
It would make it really bad. It would fester the entire
The other
guild
thing is
war
Martina's so good on
and Siege.
offense too, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Martina would just give you so many free clears on offense. You see defense.
But I actually wasn't thinking of Martina. I was thinking about something else.
Tableau Iris.
No, I have Iris. It
Tableau.
was
I'll take.
Oh,
Tableau.
you were just thinking about a unit for your like
yeah,
that you would want.
that I would want.
I see.
I actually don't
Like a
know.
light sniper.
Maybe Ileana or Light Sniper.
Kinky.
Like I want Amarna.
Okay,
I would just take
yeah,
a kinky.
kinky.
No doubt. No doubt. It's Martina or
Totally
kinky. No, I'd pick both of those over a Tableau any day of the week.
Let's get Kinky.
Any day of the week. Tableau is good, but oh man, Kinky is a monster.
Do you think he's gonna get
Hey,
touched?
I'm
No,
what?
that's a different
What?
discussion.
What?
You said?
Oh.
Did you ask if you think he's gonna get nerfed?
No, touched. Yeah, but yeah.
Eventually.
Kinky?
Think
I
he
don't
will.
think so.
Yeah, I think you will. I think they'll reduce like recovery skill 1 or something.
No,
I think they'll reduce the amount of damage required for
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm thinking
yeah.
too. 25 is a bit steep. 20%.
It's 20%, isn't it?
No,
25.
it's 20. It's 25. It should be.
Oh, that's a
20, I think.
lot.
Yeah, it's 25.
25 is a ridiculous.
Yeah, if they made it like 20 or like 15,
20
it'd be
is
pretty reasonable.
I think 20 is okay.
I mean, you can't crit him, so you have to hit really hard.
Yeah.
Or just bring no. I mean, I don't think Kinky should be touched.
Just 20.
You have one?
You have
Do you
one?
have one, Ryuujin?
How
No,
many do you have? Is maybe a better question.
I have 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
I was lucky. But I have
Okay,
2.
dude.
The other one's not built. The annoying part is putting Devilmons in him.
Ooh. Yeah.
As a tough
Although
unit to fight.
like right now, my Kinky's on Despair. I actually really want to build a violent Kinky. He looks.
I think
I
violent
fought a
Kinky is
violent
a
one
lot
today.
better.
I fought a violent one today. I like stunned him and he procced out and I went, wait a minute, what? Excuse me?
And then
I
he
think
fully healed.
I think violence a lot better because stuns are so strong against him, right?
Yes. Exactly. That's
My
how I feel.
Acelia just beats Kinky all the time because I just infinitely stun him. And then
Yep.
additional damage shred is really strong.
I was about to go into, but I guess we would do that for later.
Yeah. Okay. Enough. Enough talking about. We always every podcast. It's like one comment gets brought up, and then everyone wants to talk about buffs, nerfs, the unit is it balanced, is not balanced, because it's just like it's so ingrained in our mind that like we've been waiting all week to talk about this one thing. But I have to blue ball you a little bit, and we have to talk about something else first. No, just kidding. Did you guys have anything else you want to talk about for like anniversary predictions, etc.? Anything else?
No,
I think we went over the events. Yeah, I'm hoping we have like a bunch of events. Would just be super, like 7 different events. for the 7th anniversary. Just
Even if
slap 'em
it's just
all.
like, yeah,
Slap 'em
even if
all.
it's exactly the same as last year, you can't even complain. Last year was so good.
Yep.
Nobody can.
Yeah,
complain
last year was
about
pretty
last year.
good.
If they just
That's
copy
pretty sick.
paste it, I would not even be upset. Just change the 6 to a 7 with the lowest effort
And then
possible,
add
I'd
one
still be
event.
happy.
Just add
then,
one
yeah.
small thing.
Just add
Yeah.
like double mana or something. There you go.
Oh, I want double. You know, I know it's not that relevant, but I always like double crafting materials.
I just
I
never
I
always
want to.
like
I
craft.
want to like it, but crafting sucks. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
crafting sucks right now. I agree.
I make Stoic do it. Like when I get maxed on all my stuff, I'm like, hey Stoic, so let's have a crafting session.
Crafting runes is the worst content ever.
Stoic loves it. That's why I'm like,
It's
here you
just
go.
so tedious. You craft 100 runes and you get 2 that like are like okay to
rollable.
roll.
Not even. Well, you can't even say.
Yeah,
they're
it's not even like you
get
keep them.
2
You
to
get like
roll.
2 to 5 runes that you can roll, and that's coming from me. I roll everything.
I roll.
Like,
Yeah,
yikes.
it's
Like
it's
even with
Crafting's
the
terrible.
double crafting, I don't feel like we don't get enough crafting pieces still.
It's because they
We
don't
still
drop
get a
that
lot.
often.
Yeah, it's like so double doesn't really. Doubling 0 is nothing. Is still 0.
What if they reduce the drop rate and increase? Just make it all 6-star all the time. Is that too much? Is
I
that
changed-
just becoming too much of a gimme? If they just
Kind
make
of.
crafting straight 6-star, even if they make the pieces drop less. Is
Well,
that
you got
just-
to increase how much it costs. Then I think that would be a fair trade-off.
That's a minor adjustment too, though.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
just
too much?
mana economy, and mana economy is irrelevant for most people.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
okay, that's
becoming
not true at
very-
all. Mana economy is balanced enough for the majority of players if you're using resources effectively.
Yeah, it's
Um,
irrelevant for endgame, but yeah.
I made a suggestion a while back when I was talking with the CMs for like changing that specific event. So like we had a double, when we were getting double drop rates for materials, I said, why not, instead of giving double drop rates for materials during that event time, instead of giving double drop rates, you just get bonus materials for every single run. So like every run gives you a specific amount of materials.
Yeah, that's a great.
Then it would
idea.
actually be a relevant event to farm.
Yeah.
Like you would be like, oh, it's bonus crafting materials 2 hours. Like let's just farm, because now you actually get it, right?
It would make like you know how like R5 free R5 time, like everyone's like, oh, scrambling to like get a team versus like, oh, it's double crafting. I don't really need to do it. I'd rather still R5.
So like for what you're saying is like have it essentially like the way rifts work with the extra, you get X amount of this every time you do a run, or are you simply like
I think he's
Okay.
talking about you get the regular drops, like say in Giants, right? But then it's taxed on.
You
where
remember
it's
when
like,
we were
oh,
getting double
crafting.
drops in dungeons? They had that 1 month event where we got double drops. Basically the same thing,
Okay.
except it always gives you crafting materials.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down.
That would be.
I just
a
think
lot
it'd be
better,
cool.
Actually, yeah. Because you're like, I would never I never leave. Like if double crafting's up, people will say, "Oh, double crafting's up." I could care less. I just continue whatever I'm doing. And if by chance I'm farming something with crafting material, I get it. Otherwise, I don't go out of my way though. So if they make it more enticing.
Double Rift Essence drop for a day. That'd be pretty nice. I'd farm all my Rift Essences to max, I think.
You know what I
Yeah,
really hate? I
pretty
was
good.
gonna say this for open discussion. Maybe we still will. But it's talking about element rifts. I really hate the drop rates in those dungeons. Maybe it's just me that hates it, but that should be like how we have B12s. That should be increased to a level where if you're getting a certain score, you're getting certain quality, at least minimum 6-star runes.
Well, I
You know
think
what
if they improved crafting, like they'd also naturally improve the rift crafting.
You're just
runes as
specifically
well.
talking
No,
about
not
the
crafting.
runes that
I'm
we
talking
get,
about
right?
farming.
Not the materials,
The
or are you talking
drop
about
rate.
materials and
The materials
and
are, as far as I can tell, they're fine. I could be wrong, but it's mainly the drops that you get from like your re-app farming. Because there's
Yeah.
some certain sets I actually want to have. Crafting is one way, but we already know crafting is garbage. But I also want like farming. Like I'm doing 10 runs, I'm getting 8 million score per run, and I'm getting blue. The majority of my drops are 5-star. No one
Yeah.
can tell me otherwise. Majority of your drops are 5 stars from that dungeon.
In terms of those sets, those are garbage. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. Like I farm
Some
for
of them
them.
I like. Some of them I like. Aside from fight, I like some of them, but it's you don't want to go out. You're not gonna buy determination. You're not gonna buy tolerance. You're not gonna buy accuracy runes, especially since they already drop in other dungeons. Why make Element Rift farming like literally just for re-apps? Why
Well,
not do something good out of it?
Do you think they should add another level to the dungeon, or just
No.
rework the dungeon?
No, not even just increase the drop, because if you hit a certain score, because you can get triple S, right? And triple S is what? What's the
Right.
minimum for triple S? 4 million?
2,500.
30
2,500.
2,500?
0.5.
You,
Yeah,
you have
2.5
to
mil.
you have to kill the boss.
And then you get the
and
but you still have to hit
have a
certain
specific score.
score
I thought
to
it was
get
a
triple S,
million.
right?
I thought it was a million for triple
Oh,
S, but I could
for-
be wrong. I don't know.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, like, if right now they say you need minimum 3 million score, you get triple S, you can get a bunch of 5-star drops. But if you get 5 million per run, you get a 6-star drop for the rune, or if it's a grind, it's a purple, or a gem, it's a purple, or what else drops in that thing? And then you drop rune pieces and whatnot as well. I can't remember how the works anymore after doing auto farm on it.
Hey, honestly,
But
if the
something like-
higher you go and the better the drops is, I would take that.
And that's
I would
what I'm
love it.
asking, because it makes it more relevant again. And some of those sets you can use aside from determination for Chikaru. Everyone knows about that, but like your fight sets and I like tolerance. That's just me though. I like tolerance in some situations. I like to have it for RTA.
Mhm.
Accuracy sets kind of fell off, but what's the other one? Enhance. Enhance could be
Advanced
used.
determination fight, yeah.
Yeah. Like if they were dropping, I don't think we see them being used. Is because they don't really drop. Nobody's
It's so
giving-
hard to get good ones. It is so
Right?
hard to get good ones.
and I
I
think they can be valuable if they actually drop. But they're not dropping. Nobody's gonna go out of their way to farm these.
Okay, to be
When you
fair, I
get
actually
6-star
did
rune.
go to farm fight runes.
No, see, yeah,
Yes.
and I have my share of fight runes too. But are you going over it now over B12? Over B12 farming? Are
Oh
you
no
gonna
no
go
no
farm-
no no! I
See,
had
that's
that string where because I used to be an arena guy, right? Like, well, not
Yeah.
used to be. I started the game and my focus was to do arena, and I specifically when the Rift came out, I specifically farmed for fight runes.
Yeah,
Just
all
for
of
that.
us. Nobody's exempt from that. But like nowadays, even when B12s came up, they should have touched Elemental Rifts then. But now it's a little overdue. I think, in my opinion, it's a little overdue. That should be bumped up to have some quality drops by now. At
No,
least
I
6
agree with you.
Yeah, like minimum 6-star drops. And yeah.
I was just
it's
saying,
not
like,
just
if
for
people
re-app.
were specifically going to like, another example is like determination runes, right? I'm sure like there's a lot of people that try to farm for it when Trikaru was out there.
Yeah.
Like everyone was trying to build it, everyone was trying to farm for it. So it's like it's not so much where it is outdated for sure. And I agree that there needs to be a bump, but there are. It's not like no one tried to farm for it.
Yeah.
That's what.
But maybe
that's
I still don't have my Trickaroo, so maybe that's why I never
Oh, okay.
had any value in it. But when I want to farm it for certain, I want tolerance runes, and I'm not farming the other. What's the other dungeon? The new dimensional one. I can't remember how it's said because I never farmed
Calderon,
it.
the Swift
The one
one?
that drops Swift. Not Karzan. What's it called?
Calderon or
Calderon.
Calderon.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Calderon.
I'm not farming
Calderon.
that. So
Also not farming that.
yeah,
I'm
Never.
also
There's
not-
no reason
Not
to.
farming that.
that's
It's
not
farm Alunia.
Lunia for life.
Lumel, man. You got to get those
Lumel.
vampire runes.
Nah. No, I don't.
Destroy
I
runes.
would honestly rather because B12s exist. I would rather just farm Necro for like destroy vampire will
Yeah,
instead of
I don't
farming
think Necro that
in
much.
my ancients, right?
I mean, what else would you? Well, let's say all your two A's are done. Well, what else would you be using the ancient?
Lunia indefinitely.
I mean, I switch off because I like the ancient destroys and ancient wills.
Yeah,
Mm,
and I like. I
mainly
love
just
vampire
farm
runes.
for despair, ancient despair, ancient will grinds. Mainly grinds
Mainly
because
grinds,
like getting max grinds is so hard.
Yeah, I know.
Do we agree with what Comtua said? Is where they're not releasing ancient grinds in a way where it's so easy. They want you to have certain emotions when it drops, when it finally drops.
I'm
You know what
fine
I'm
with
saying?
it.
I don't even get it. Like, okay, if it's a rune, like a 6-star ancient rune that's really good, then I get the emotion when I see a legend ancient grind. I just have a bad feeling it's gonna roll bad.
Yup.
Or
And
you
I'm
Oh,
just
I have a
just-
bad feeling it's gonna be flat before I look at it.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not exciting to see it. I was like, you're doing it more so as a chore because you want to use a specific rune that you have, like you gotten from a dimensional predator, right? I have 3 runes that I can't use because they're not grinded because I don't have the specific grind. I also like I have a will rune that I had like maybe almost a year ago that I farmed 3 months of Elunia to get a speed grind, just one speed grind, not just like one purple speed grind, but it took 3 months to get one.
I
It
know
was
that
so
feeling.
useless.
I really do.
I finally
know-
got my second will legend speed grind ancient.
I haven't got a single one of those, and you're telling me you got 2?
Yeah,
I
I
haven't gotten
do.
one either.
I have not got a single legend will speed grind ancient since it came out.
Well,
And I
well,
farm that thing. And I refresh my dimensional energy, like the 120 cost thing.
yeah, I did it.
I
Okay,
still have not
Agent
got-
Smith,
I just
what,
wish
what
that
did
they
it
would
roll?
give us-
What did
A
it
5.
roll? Yeah.
It rolled a 5. It did not roll fixed. So
I mean, a 5 is still so
That's
good,
still,
right? It's
5 is
like,
still good, but
5
you
is
know,
max purple though.
as long
I
as you
got-
don't roll
I got
a 4,
bunch of
you're happy,
purple.
right?
Yeah, 4 would make me sad, but
yeah.
I think I've always been of this opinion, but I feel like the only thing they really need to change is like add immemorial ancient grinds to the dimensional predator. Like that's it. It's once a month.
Okay.
You get 3, and they could be all trash anyways. So like, why not, right?
ancient
Yeah, why not?
immemorial, I like it. I like it a
it's
lot.
it's only one place to get it. You only get 3. I don't think it's that big of a
Yeah.
deal.
Put that with what is it? The dimensional predator.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where you get it from. You beat
Yeah.
dimensional predator. You get 3. Because right, you get the 3 drops on the top, 3 drops on the bottom, 3 drops on the drop are grinds and gems. If they were ancient immemorial, that'd
Yeah.
be cool,
Usable on any ancient rune. I like it.
right?
I like that a lot. Do
know.
not sell ancient immemorials ever. Never.
None of them.
Making
Thank you.
ancients pay to win feels good, man. Feels good, man.
I don't think that'll ever happen though, but you never know.
I hope it never happens. I don't think.
Well, that'll be one of those red flags, you know, like LD trans. That's what red flag, ancient immemorial gems and grinds. Time to go, guys.
That's a yellow button for me, not a red button. That's a caution. But it's up there. It's closer
It's
to
like,
orange.
it's like orange. It's closer to red than it
Yeah,
is
it's
yellow
right,
for me.
orange.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
That's
All right.
orange.
So we talked about anniversary. We talked about different things we wanted. We talked about a lot of like ancient farming and stuff like that. Are you guys playing Special League? Topic number 3 here. Are you playing
Yes.
Special League?
Barely.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
4-star specialty is actually my favorite one.
Me too.
It's
Me
my
too.
I
favorite.
hate it.
I'm playing it. I played every single wing. It's my favorite one. So
It's good. It's fun.
It's
So
also
how
the
do you
only
feel?
special league I've gotten G3 in.
How do you feel about Special League right now?
It's fun.
I actually streamed most of my wings today. I'm trying to get my first G3 for Special League. I'm at rank 30 something right now, so I'm hoping.
Damn,
hoping to
everyone's
get
trying
G3
so
first.
hard.
I'm not. I'm playing my way. I am not playing that 4 support and terrorist nonsense and all that other stuff you see. I do use Tableau, so I guess take it with a grain of salt. But
Mhm.
Like there's
but-
definitely.
But Ash just
oh,
hates it because he can't use his Nyx and his
No.
Prod, his Cardinal.
I just hate 4-star because I can't play the way I want to play. Well, I play the way I want to play, and it should be working, but it's not because so much. The supports are so good.
I feel like if what I'm doing works, I think almost anything can work in Special League.
anything. That's what I like about it. It's like
I
you
like-
see so many variety of stuff, and there is definitely like meta units, but then you see like some weird team that like someone just brought. You're like, what the hell? And then you lose
That's
to
me.
it. It's
That's
like
me.
what? Like what?
Weird
Wait, what-
teams.
what
Weird teams are us.
I need examples of what weird team are you seeing that surprises you?
If I
like-
picked
like
Acelia
Sniper.
and
Like,
then
example-
Valkyrie, how confused
Prime
would you be?
example is snipers.
That's not
Like-
confusing. though. That's additional damage abuse, and I like it.
It's only additional damage abuse on Acelia though. It's not additional damage abuse on the Hrazvelg at all.
But you boost it.
The
'Cause you
whole
boost it
concept of my
speed, you
team is
boost your
to
additional
run
damage,
speed
so-
down, speed up. If you run speed down, speed up, you control really heavily. And
Hey,
I
I'm
also
a big
only
fan.
have like 2 units on Violent. So it's just like, let's see how long we can play the game without using like aggressive Violent units, right?
do you have a light Chun-Li? Because that's basically my
I
team.
wish.
Light Chun-Li. Like I do
I
the
wish.
speed up, speed down. Like Chun-Li, last pick.
Hmm. For me, it's just like it's exactly like Juggernaut said. It's the variety, right? The variety of different things you can pick that still are okay and like still work is a lot closer than it is in regular RTA, where it's like if you pick things that are weird, the strength of units really shines, and it's like you're probably not going to win very often.
And you do not have to have certain units, which is really nice change from regular RTA. Like,
especially if people put the effort in building that specific type or like those weird type of monsters. Like here's the example. Like when Firas asked me was someone brought the Dong guy, the blue one, and
Gildong?
yeah, Gildong and Water Cannon Girl against me, and I was like, whoa, that was weird. But obviously he did bring the like some of the thing, and he brought a Chicklet. So those are like the four.
Who
like,
had Triana?
I had Triana.
See, there you go.
I
No,
never,
but I'm saying, like,
Did you win it?
yeah, I won.
See,
it was
Triana.
close.
That's what
I'm just saying though, like
get Triana mainly.
it was well, I first pick. I had first pick, so I picked Triana.
Okay,
but then I'm building like more sort towards meta, and I also I play with Kinky and Cocky at the same time. So I'm doing like the bruiser / support. But I like seeing like force support, like what you said, was weird to me too. I lost to that, and then I like seeing the Gildong, the Water Cannon Girl, and they did something weird. It's like, how am I supposed to go against this, even though it's close? Because Triana did stop the multi hits, but it almost beat me, right?
Okay.
What's
I-
everybody's current rank in Special League? I know you're playing a lot. You're rank 30. What are you, Billy?
I am. I haven't played like this whole day, so I'm currently at 2,804.
How many wings have you done in total?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's see. Will you see this? Oh, right there. Sorry.
Under 100?
38.
30. So you did one day. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. One day. Firas, you've done like none of it?
No, I'm sitting in G1 still, but I'm still hating it. Just because I'm in G1 doesn't mean I don't hate it. Okay.
I went
Like,
ham
that's
on the
Just
first
like arena,
2 days.
Mr. G3 arena.
I just hate that Arnold. Like, I'm gonna complain about Arnold. That's my buff discussion for the whole.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I remember you tried to bring that against me, and I was like, why are you using Arnold?
Because I want him buffed. That's why. Okay. I'm using it.
You're trying to use single target units in a multi-hit meta.
No,
That's what it is.
Just
It would
become
work
an additional damage Andy. That's all.
if I could finally summon a Fuki. Okay. And if Arnold gets buffed, my team is very legit. Okay.
But it still
But I
gets
just
fully
need those
controlled.
2 conditions. So I'm using Monty Icarus, right? I got Arnold for additional, well, not additional, but just for more HP sucking. And I want Fuki because he's another unit built on high HP, but he still outputs very similar amount. I never summoned one, and it can be very effective. It's just that Arnold is so weak.
I feel like you
that's
lose to
good.
control really heavily.
No, because I actually outspeed too, because I take Escher as well. And if I lose Escher, I take Vigor on Swift, and that lets me have multiple buffs where I can't get stripped. Because the only full AoE stripper in 4-star is Soha, I believe, unless somebody Soha and the Dark Chun-Li.
You don't need to full strip people though. All you need to do is take the will off.
Yeah, but then when I throw up Vigor's buff, as kind of like how someone would use a Wusa, I use Vigor as just to throw up the speed buff and the crit block. So I have 3 buffs up now. I lower your chances of taking my immunity.
Well,
I almost never miss more than one will into that very specific setup. Because I run Clara, I run Aceli.
yeah,
It's pretty easy.
I haven't seen
Clara and
anyone-
Aceli are pretty good for that.
Yeah,
Clara's on my shit's account.
my comp is Tableau, Escher, Clara, Tyron, and then last pick Light Chin-Li usually. And so it usually puts you in a really tough spot. And to
Yeah,
what
your team is good.
I love Tyron. I think he's I don't think he's underrated. I just think people aren't using him, and I don't know why. He's so good, especially in
I think because there's too many people like during the metas bringing in so many
Probably.
immunities, and they're already set up with full team of immunities. So like Tyron's kind of
bring in strippers, man.
no, I get it. It's like people are just thinking that because
Gaines
Tyron's
is
kinda
also
weak.
really good against you. Is another unit that's really strong against what you're talking about, Firas. The
The-
Dark Dryad.
Oh, Dark Dryad.
Dark Dryad's very good against you.
I want one. But yeah, I haven't fought a single one. You're talking like I haven't fought a single Aquila. I haven't fought a single Soha for reference sake. And then and same with the Dark Dryad. Haven't fought her once either. Not like I've done a crazy amount of wings.
You're also like in G1. You're not fighting anyone crazy yet.
No, that too. No,
Once you start fighting the G3 players, it changes really fast because Special League always has this wall, right? You shit on everybody until like you hit this wall, and the wall in the first couple days is usually like once you hit top 200, you hit that wall where you start fighting really good players really fast. But if you like teeter later into the season, it's like once you reach top 150, maybe 100, you start fighting people who have like 330 speed units. You start fighting people who have 40k HP on units like their Grigo. You know, you start fighting people whose vigors are on Swift. You start fighting people who have violent Eschers over 310. You're like, okay, I don't understand anymore. Like up until that point, none of these units really make that much of a difference because you're beating people on raw rune quality, right? Like I go into some of these matches where I miss every strip, I don't get a single stun, and I beat them because like it's just a rune quality difference because that's how Special League is, right? Special League is something that like really showcases how good your runes are along with your draft because the units in terms of strength are like a lot closer. So your ability to draft a team that is effective together can supersede people who just pick really strong units.
Or just have high quality runes and like pick 4 supports.
Please don't. No one do that. Stop doing that.
Like
Who did that to me like 3 times? Remember YS.
Don't.
Yeah, I was that close to beating him, and Violent Proc beat me at the end. My Vamp Yen almost soloed him. It was so close.
His
His
Fran hit so hard though. The
additional damage on his Fran is crazy.
It was murdering me. I was like, because I had and it just busted through Triana because he didn't pick Triana. I picked Triana, and he just picked who do you pick?
He picks Fran Lulu double liches +1.
He did Fran, the Water Fairy, and
Lucia.
Yeah, Lucia.
Fran and Lucia, yeah. He picks Rigel and Grigo a lot too.
He did Fran, Lucia, Ileana, Verd, and Fire Lich against me.
Who was it?
So,
remember YS? It's rank 2. Or it should still be rank 2.
I think I fought him a bunch. Actually.
He streams on Twitch. He's actually rank 4 right now. He streams on
Yeah,
Twitch.
I did. I fought him. I beat him twice in a row the other day. He has a tough team. He definitely, I remember him.
Additional damage is a strong mechanic on supports.
Additional damage, Andy. That's me.
Like, did I want to like my invitation was like, did I want to ban the Verd for the additional turns, or did I want to ban the RNG? I banned the RNG, and his support was just murking me down with additional damage.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. There's not a lot to mitigate units like Verd or mechanics like additional damage by speed because I mean there's no Leo, so you can always just abuse additional damage by speed really hard, right?
Yeah.
It just be like that. Just be like that.
But yeah, it's Antares League anyway. Everybody knows that
too.
Just first pick Antares and
Triana League.
Honestly, I think it's Triana League more than anything else. Triana League is probably my #1 most seen pick.
What if you get Triana and Antares? Do you just automatically win?
I mean, you're just toxic, but that's besides the point.
It's everybody I fight every time.
What do you guys do to counter Triana? Maybe that's a good
ban her. That's what I do.
What if someone goes Triana and
buff?
Who do you decide between Triana and Hoda?
I leave both up always.
If
you're bringing 2 supports like that, I ban whatever your cleanser is, or I ban your only damage dealer. Because the Triana's always on damage if they do that, right? Which means that she doesn't do anything else.
I just ban the Triana every time because I usually get my CC rolling with Tableau and Tyrant and all that, and I turn cycle a lot. So
okay, I'll give you the secret for us. Okay, this is the secret. When people pick all supports, you control them with Arya. You never lose.
Arya. Oh man, I should
slow debuff, glancing, and sleep.
And most importantly, HP lead for Arnold.
Yes, HP lead is the good counter against people who pick a Karis. Because there's some people who have Swift to Karis that are like 45, 50k HP, 280 speed, but that HP lead keeps you alive.
I mean, when I draft Ayunu, so
that's kind of spicy.
Very spicy.
Because they're gonna try to like bust through, right? They just ban one of their damage. And
I totally forgot he does Oblivion.
He has Oblivion. He has double life. So you don't need to worry about
any multi hits too if you want to build additional as well.
And he hurts. He hurts a lot.
This is a
Feelings are
very good
strong on that unit.
podcast for me. I'm
You do like
I'm gonna
you
look
build
for new toys probably.
He's
you
gonna
build a
rewatch the
Oni
podcast.
and then have Ayuna come after, so it's like 3 hits with if not Oblivion procs branding also procs at the same time on the first hit, so you're just busting through everyone.
Yeah, it's a good unit for sure. And Arya, I like. I've lost to more Aryas than I can count actually. Every time I fight her, I usually lose. She'll
Yep.
just knock out and then
She's
that's it.
Hathor, but
All right.
better. I honestly think she very much feels like that Hathor pick to me, like from old Hathor, right? You pick her slot 5 and someone's just like, well shit, what do I do? Do I ban that or do I ban like all these, you have to make a choice. It's not a fun choice ever. Yeah, Special League is tough. I think the biggest factor for Special League from what I've played and what I've been watching is like additional damage is crazy because you can't really counter it, especially additional damage by speed. Like there's no counter to additional damage by speed in Special League.
There's no
You just have
4-star
to
Leo.
eat it. Yeah, there's no 4-star Leo.
Maybe
Could they
we
even
should
make
start
a 4-star
introducing that.
Leo?
Yeah, can they? I'm trying to think like
Could they possibly, like, even if it's only ever gets used in Special League, even I guess 4-star towers in Siege, could they ever make one that's like a very temporary one turn? Well,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like they made
That
like
would,
a
that would be
like a
that would
budget
be
Adtl,
something,
right?
That would be something you could do with like the thing I mentioned last time I was on podcast with the conditional passives. Like you could have maybe a 4-star conditional passive Leo. Like
has anyone?
if at max health it's a Leo, so something like that.
Oh, that's not a
What if
bad
they
idea.
just straight up copy Pokemon and use Trick Room? Do any of you know what Trick Room is?
You want to use
no
Trick
idea.
Room? What?
Straight
I don't
up
think that would work in a game like Summoners
for
War though.
4-star. No, for 4-star.
What is a trick room?
It's where the slowest let's say it was you're doing an RTA match. You're this 4th new unit. Now Zig is already hating the idea. This 4th unit this unit, 4-star unit, and he does let's say a move that just reverses the speed. So the slowest one goes first, the fastest one moves last. We can make it, let's say if it was a 1-turn rotation. Would that be busted in Summoners War?
I think it would.
I don't think it would be
because-
strong enough.
If
No,
it
I
was
don't
just
think it would be
one
too busted,
enough.
right? Wouldn't that make it so that like it literally count like here's like the
You could
meta
get a turn
of
though.
a season,
Get a
right?
turn.
So everyone.
Wait.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
He's
we
like
do-
a
okay,
tableau
okay.
he's like a tableau that's less effective.
No.
No,
It would be
he-
backwards. So let's say, okay, you and I, Tyler. My Escher moves first, then 7, 8, whatever, all the way down to 1. 1 is the new unit that does this new skill. So now that my Escher moved first, right? Your new unit, we'll call it number 8. So number 7 was your
Yeah, we go in
second
reverse
last-
order. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll go in reverse order now.
Yeah, but why would that be?
that
I
same
mean,
order.
it's just a worse tableau.
No.
Because
Yeah,
you either have to build for the incorrect turn order or that unit doesn't get through. It's like when you're someone who
your
drafts
opponent can
Leo,
also
but
do
you don't
that
have a
because we
ragdoll,
can
right? You
reverse
draft the
order.
Leo and you have all this team built around the Leo, and then they ban your Leo because you don't have a ragdoll to get banned. It's like, okay,
Well,
well,
you gotta
now
mix
what
it
do I
with
do
you.
with the rest of my team? It just doesn't work because
What
you're building such a specific niche setup that it's not flexible enough. You'd pick it, and then they would look at it and be like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill something before like that unit can reverse. Or I'll just control that unit, it'll never get to reverse.
I still want it. I don't care. I still want. If it's
okay.
the only way we could possibly, but it doesn't really address the additional speed, or the additional damage speed thing. I was hoping like if there's any way we can make a 4-star Leo.
Or how about like a type of
Yeah.
Leo where the slower your units are, well, there's that obviously because like if you're at 0 speed, there will be a cap, right? The slower your units are, the more damage it does. And then the faster you are, the less damage you do.
That sounds like Garubal.
Isn't that
That's
just
another
kind of
Pokemon
naturally
unit.
how runes work? Like the slower your unit is, the more damage you're usually putting
No,
on.
there's a lot of units that increase their damage proportionate to their speed. So that's
not all of
Leo
them.
defense, right? Not all of them, no, but a lot of like a good amount of them are, right? And they're the only ones that are sort of like that. There's no monster that the slower you are, the more damage it does. But that's because of just runes in general. But I'm just saying like a type of skill that if you have more speed, you do less damage. like specifically say like like let's say it'll be 100%. If you have 100 speed, you'll be doing like 50% less damage.
Just give it to the Phantom Thieves, and they'll make them relevant. There you go.
I don't know if there's any way to make a 4-star Leo that can actually like punish. Because if you don't die by the time you get that move off, is there even a point? If you have to live, right? Can you survive the additional damage so you can get this move off that punishes them for being?
Well, that's what I was saying. I think a conditional passive would be the key for the 4-star unit. Is like if it's 75% health or above, this passive is active, and so then everyone's just gonna focus him right on the 4-star tower or wherever you're using him. So you just build him like extra beefy tanky.
I think conditional passives would be a really good idea if they only implemented it in Special League.
I'm fine with that. I think that'd be cool.
Because I think it would make Special League it would make Special League unique and fun. And it would give people an opportunity to try a lot of different things and also to be really creative.
I mean, with conditional passive in general as a new thing for skills, wouldn't that also give like a better range to like build more OP stuff? Think about it. Like let's say like a new Nat 5 that has a conditional passive, and
Well, they don't
if
have to conditional passive everything, right? Conditional okay. Think of conditional passives in like a Special League as like a special rule set instead, right? Like instead of
Okay.
being like only 4 stars, they're like these units do these things now, and these units do these things, and this is a different mechanic for this unit. Like it's basically just applying a balance patch to a Special League and being like, test it, have fun.
Well,
I'd
wouldn't
be
that
fine
just be
if
a new
that's how
Special
they
League?
if that's how they beta
Exactly.
tested buff
Yeah.
nerfs. I'm down with that. Like do that.
I think it would be an interesting way that like they could be like, okay, the community clearly wants this to happen, so it's like, fuck it, we'll do it in a Special League for 2 weeks, and then we realize, wow, that was a shitty idea. That was an absolutely shit idea. We don't want that in the game. Then it never got added to the game, right? But we got the opportunity to see what it would have been like.
That could work.
Yeah.
It's like a test server without creating a test server.
Yeah, I wish they'd take more risks with Special League. I hope they do eventually, because I think all that stuff's cool, and then we can just test cooler things, and they can test things too. They can put in potential buff ideas they have to a unit and make it part of Special League rules or something.
You think 2 weeks is enough range though?
Yeah,
To
Yeah,
get
I
like,
think a lot of people would play
any
it
test
if
is
it
no
was
test. It's better than no
if it
test,
was
right?
if it was significant enough. A lot of people would test it. A lot of people would test it. Like you'd have almost all the content creators testing it. Anyone who's relevant in RTA would be testing it. Anyone who has time would be testing it.
yeah, everyone wants to have
I
fun,
don't see
so
why not,
and it
right?
just looks like it's
Yeah.
fun. So
Or oh no, actually no, they're already doing that. Throw more Special Leagues out more often. No, that wouldn't make sense.
yeah, that's fine. I don't see why not. Like you
I
can
mean,
even have it.
I've always said just run 2 leagues beside each other. Run like normal league and then Special League
Yeah.
same time,
And
right?
then yeah, you could test more balance patches. You know, like throw specifically like just change a lot of monsters around in Special League and see how it works.
Yep.
I mean, I'm okay with that idea. I don't know if everyone is, but I think that idea would be interesting. It just
I
gives
like
you options, right? And then you have them end in a staggered direction. So like Special League ends, and then you have like a month and a half till regular league ends. And then you can kind of just like stagger them out when you want to. It's like if you want to focus on that, you can focus on that. You don't have to. Right.
Yeah, Special
would've
League tester.
But would you still only get 30 wings, period, or would they give you more wings?
30 wings is fine for both.
no.
So
I want
60
You
wings?
don't have to use them all.
That's true. I don't have to use them. But what if I can't help myself?
Well,
That's
that's your choice. I mean, you were given an option and you chose to use your time that way.
I'm punished.
Nothing
bad.
here in the game is forcing you to play it any longer than you are yourself. You know, you play the game because you want to get better, you want to compete. If you don't care about certain content, you don't do it. That's why some of us don't do Arena. That's why some people don't do Siege. Some people don't do Guild Wars. Some people don't touch RTA at all. Right? It's just, I don't know. That complaint seems kind of silly to me. It's like, but then there's like so much more to do. It's like, don't you want more things to do if you want?
I mean, it was a
It's
joke.
I think a better wording is more options is never a bad thing.
More
'Cause I like
optional content.
Yeah,
is
like
not
more
necessarily a bad thing.
there's definitely more stuff to do. You don't have to do it, but it's fun. Like Special League, no one has that. No one has to do it. It's just there for fun. Like
Mhm.
20-star Special League is not so fun for me, or the pick and ban one is not so much fun for me, so I don't do it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of talking about it already. We're talking about like changes to units or changes to like mechanics and how things go. But like, if you guys want to bring up any like specific units you want to talk about, I know Firas, you wanted to talk about Kinky. We could do a little bit of that, a little bit of talking about buffs and nerfs, and then just like a quick open to the community kind of thing. And then I have to go in like 15 minutes
Oh. Okay, well, Kinky,
because we
I think
started at 5.
25
So,
down to
sorry.
20% is okay, but if it stays at 25, it might be okay as well. What do I know? And I want Arnold at 40%, not 30% for his live stream. That's all I care about. Is my Arnold buff.
I would
That's
even go with 50%. Why not just like make it?
Because I've done the numbers compared to Icarus, because I have Icarus as well.
Yeah.
50% is like you can do 30k easily at 50%. That's a free Molong. That's a free, not even a free Molong. In some cases, it's a one shot because Molong is limited to the 70%, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's, or well, unless you're gonna put limiters on Arnold at 50%, it would just be another Arnold, another Molong, which we don't need. I'd rather if he keeps what he has now. Have you seen his skill 3 recently?
Yeah, the recent buff, which was the heal block.
No, and it also absorbs attack bar, 30% attack bar.
Oh wait, they changed that recently? I didn't actually
Yeah,
notice
that's
that.
fairly
Oh,
recent.
okay.
2 patches ago though, or maybe 3 patches ago. But anyway, even if they took out some of that to justify increasing the HP drain, that's good. But 50% is too high though.
What's the
It's
base HP
broken.
compared to Icarus? Arnold?
Icarus
Is it a
is
lot more?
98.85.
98.
Arnold's at 12.
Okay, yeah, I see
Yeah,
the big difference now. I
yeah.
thought
And
Icarus was at least like 10k to like 11. Because I know Arnold had
No, she
higher
has high
base HP.
defense. She has high defense. She
Okay,
doesn't have high
okay.
HP.
yeah.
That's what
Then I
balances
see a
her.
difference.
But like when I have my Icarus and my Arnold at the exact same HP, or even if I had Arnold higher, Icarus will always do more because she does 50%, right? And she also does heal like Arnold does. But does that 20% extra that Icarus does justify not having the attack bar drain and the heal block? Is the or should I word it this way? The attack bar drain and the heal block. Does that on Arnold? Does that make it better than absorbing 20% more HP?
I don't think the absorbing HP is that much of a factor. I mean, it does
It's
tip the
for one
scale
shot.
towards the
If you
balancing.
get your
Yeah.
opponent low enough, right? Like I have my Arnold. Let's say I'm just talking about my Arnold. I don't know about anyone else's Arnold builds. If I'm able to put
Because
my
nobody
Arnold,
else builds Arnold.
Who is Arnold
I'm
built?
a pioneer. Okay, I'm trying to pioneer some Arnold builds here. If he's at 40k HP without any additional damage to element by artifact, he'll do 15k. You can't even kill a bruiser nowadays with 15k, right?
Yeah, 15 you can't.
But you
Unless
can't
it's
do
like
anything. At
C3
40%,
Taki.
he's doing in the 20s, right? Excluding artifacts still, excluding damage dealt to a certain element, because that does increase it. I think it just makes it more viable even for not just Special League, but even on 5-star, where if you have the rune quality to have him at high speed and high HP, and you can, Monty is a horrible example maybe. If you go Monty Arnold or Monty Icarus or Icarus Arnold, or if you have your Molong in combo with Icarus or Arnold, it gives you another option. The way he is now at 30%, it really, like, you can't do anything with it. It's unfortunate. Even with his other 2 skills are mediocre too. I just want
Okay, what about this?
I want Arnold better. Okay, that's it.
What are this? Instead of increasing your easy mode nuke button, why don't they just add HP scaling to his skill 1 and skill 2? So like he's that way he's not just like a one-trick pony. You hit skill 3, you wait 5 turns, and then you do it again. It's like, why not make him relevant every turn, or like a little bit better on each turn?
Well, he's
Wait,
already
Firas.
HP scaling on the skill 2. The skill 1 is just straight crushing hit no matter what you do. I don't know why they never implemented HP scaling, because I'm pretty
Why
sure
not just
the
make it
other Death Knights
Viable.
are HP relevant as well. But
Firas, do
I
you
mean,
draft,
you don't build any of them on damage except for maybe Conrad,
maybe.
but you also don't build Conrad, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, I built Conrad.
Crit damage Briand is gonna be the new meta, guys. Crit damage Briand.
Damage Briand. Yeah,
Yeah, but crit damage is useless on these units because their skill ones can't crit.
Crit damage Briand.
Wait, first, do you
what's-
draft Harmonia with your Arnold and Icarus?
No, I don't play immunity. So I'm trying to avoid that fact too.
Oh no,
I don't
not the
play
immunity, but the skill 3.
I know her skill 3 is really
I
good.
feel like
In
one-turn
RTA, I don't
immunity
play
isn't really drafting
it's
immunity.
It's another
You're,
one.
at best, you're drafting a cleanse, like a single.
I'm just thinking like
cleanse.
because with your type of draft, right? Even like let's say you do get outspeed and you don't get the turns, at least you get the survivability and then a free one shot if your monster survive, right?
But you're still hoping that you have low enough HP for Harmonia to set up for Arnold as an example. But I know, are you saying to use Harmonia in place of Arnold?
No.
Or in combo?
In combo with it. Just like I don't know what your fifth draft is because I just heard the first 4.
Yeah, well, usually Escher. Let's say, for example, we're talking about just Special League. It's Escher, Monty, Icarus, Arnold, and there's another unit that I can't even remember right now because I haven't done it in a minute. Was it Vigor? Or maybe someone in chat remembers my
think you
draft.
said
I don't even
Vigor.
remember my drafts anymore.
Probably Triana Vigor. That's what I
There's
remember.
another HP chunker. Who was it? I really can't remember. But it's still rune quality dependent. At the end of the day, even though it's a cheap way to get some takeaway units, Nyx. No, it's not Nyx. Even if it's a cheap way to chunk out units, you still do need a rune quality on Arnold. And if I gave him one of my best Vile sets at really good HP, and he still does next to nothing. That's why I think you should give him at least 40%. I think 40% is pretty good. And then it just helps me. It does take a rune quality. Okay, it's just like Icarus needs a certain rune
I
quality.
feel like the issue with your comp is that you're hard limiting yourself, and you just want things to become easier, but you're hard limiting yourself, which doesn't make any sense.
It's good in Siege too.
It's like if you're someone who's like, I refuse to use Dova in Siege or in like Arena, it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have a harder time. But then you complain about it. You're like, I can't outspeed these people with my T on. It's like, but that's because you're not using Dova. Right? Like you're saying, I want my one specific comp to be stronger, but I refuse to use things that will make it better. And it has to be buffs to my units only. It's just
that's right.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like
That's
you know
me.
it's nothing personal, but like what you're saying right now is very foolish.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I think you're missing. It's a partial meme as well here, Tyler, that I'm wanting to buff Arnold, but I'm partially serious about it too. I do want Arnold to be a little bit better on that skill 3.
I actually agree with Firas with the Arnold buff because Arnold is not that good. That's why I went even an extreme to say 50%.
I mean,
right?
you straight up asked him like, "Are you using Harmonia?" He's like, "No, I don't want to use that." It's like, okay, well then you're gonna make everything harder.
No, but I'm saying even if you use with Harmonia, you still can't use Harmonia to bring your opponent down low enough for Arnold to finish the job.
I think
It's
you
not
do
like
because
Icarus or
with Harmonia, right? If like even if you only get hit with a 30%, 25% damage, like on some of your monsters, she has that little extra little bar that she pushes down that actually gets them to like closer to 50%. That's why Molong and Harmonia is such a great combo. And you heal someone up to like full HP.
yeah, but you can't do that with Arnold. That's why I want Arnold to be in that glory spot. Okay, I want Arnold to be one-shotting like a Molong.
He wants Arnold to be pre-nerf Leica. That's what he wants. He wants this unkillable beast.
That's exactly what I want.
Rigor of
man.
Night can come back.
I know all the people in Siege like it too.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Arnold would be amazing.
Siege unit.
But
But
then
it's hard to use even in Siege because he doesn't do enough.
he doesn't do enough for sure.
I'm
He's
saying
used in conjunction to like for me, he's just a literal like the way he's built, right? Is a literal double Nem will against any Molong teams, but there's no more Molong defenses. And he just wants just snipe Molong.
see,
Instantly.
you're just on my side, man.
All right, Billy.
Yeah.
Any buffs or nerfs? I gotta like kind of like not let us just like ramble forever
Okay.
because we started an hour later than normal, so I don't have as much time to kind of do this. But we can always go round 2 in a future podcast. But yeah,
I say
buffs, nerfs, anything you want to talk about specifically?
buff Geldnir. And
Again?
again, he's still crap.
Do
I
you
mean, he's
have-
not crap. He's okay.
he's good enough that people use him on siege defense.
I have used him on Siege, and he's shit. He's bad. Correction. He's bad.
Watching people lose to that's funny though.
It is funny because he's not good.
okay in
He's
Arena.
just there to stall. He's a stall
It's just
unit.
really
He's
annoying.
decent for AD, but the speed lead still does not make sense for what he's being used for, right? He's a stall healer, but you can still get one shot. So you have to bring him with tanky teams or
Just give him global speed lead, and then you can use him on arena defense so much better. You imagine him being your 24% speed lead on arena defense? It's not bad.
yeah, it's not bad. I just prefer like a complete revamp of his skill because I don't like the fact that he has a speed lead for Guild War, and then he's just stands there and does
You
nothing.
have one, right? You said you
I have one. I have one. Yeah,
and you've tested. I'm assuming
I
you've tested
tested.
1,000 defense.
I've built so many different defense. We have 4 people with Geldnirs. We have a full Geldnir tower that's just easily get killed. It does nothing. There's we have one guy with like 1 in 40. but that was just that was just a meme tower, right? It was and obviously we changed it around, but it's just like we think of these ideas to build it. I think that was actually maybe like a 1 in 25 or something, but it was bad.
So all he does as a defense unit is what you're saying is just delay the inevitable.
Delays the inevitable. You need like a strong unit, right? But like the strong 2 units to support. But then if they're not strong enough to survive a 1-shot, then they're useless.
What's his awakening?
Speed lead. No, his awakening is something else. No, his
accuracy, maybe
stat accuracy or something useless.
Well, why don't they just make his awakening make his skill 1 stupid OP?
It's resistance.
Resistance, yeah, that's horrible. What if they just awakened his skill 1 to do?
Think about it. He's a Huadam that does nothing. That still doesn't protect.
Huadam does more because of debuffs.
Yeah.
So what if he did
buff? That's it.
What if he did like some partial ignored defense mechanic?
That would be cool, like an Odin.
You want him to be better than Odin? You want him to be? You want him to be 33% speed lead Odin? Is what you're saying with no element, by the way.
I'm just pulling something out of my ass here, but I'm just saying, what if they just awaken his skill 1 to make him do damage based on the way he has to be built? Because he's got to be built high HP, obviously. Right?
Yeah, that would be a revamp of his kit. He would have that ability plus
he would still have his passive. Everything stays the same, but that skill 1 is actually a threat.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Like, maybe that's the
instead of more of a literal passive nothing guy, he actually is more offensive. I was thinking he should have been an offensive support versus nothing support. That's what I categorize him as, nothing support. He's a Huadam that doesn't protect.
Would a better buff then, along the vein of the way he was designed, be a way to give him more stacks more often instead of making him like an Odin?
It still doesn't prevent the 1-shot mechanic though. That's my issue. Like a Triana and Huadam is way better than him.
Fair enough.
So if they make his skill 1 so strong that you can't actually kill your, it has to be ignored defense. That's actually the only thing they could do, where that you can't focus the other units anymore. You actually have to focus the Geldnir. So if he's an ignored defense skill 1, could that be manipulated? It can't, because other than Miho is the only one. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm trying to get?
I get, yeah.
Like his skill 1 is such a threat that you have to kill him first. Otherwise, you lose somehow. Maybe it won't be as easy as I'm saying it. But maybe that's the one way they could fix it. Because the rest awakening is horrible for him.
Just anything to change him out of like this current state is better. Like to be honest, I would just prefer him to be more of a instead of a support unit, like an offensive unit with speed lead.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I agree.
Like not the exact as Odin, because Odin is like a ignore defense single target unit, right? Maybe just make him like
something different. Just something different.
Just
the concept is what we're looking for. All right.
What if he does Arnold skill 3 on skill?
Stop with your Arnold bullshit. Stop with your. How do I kick this guy from the call?
Hold on.
Oh, actually, to go along, not Arnold specifically, but you know, like the fixed type of damage, like Skogul type of damage types. I think they should add more of those on different types of stats, like a fixed damage attack unit.
What if
but that's
Geldnir,
gonna be a bomb, right?
Instead of healing your team, for every stack he loses, he reduces the health of the enemy team instead.
Oh.
It's like the opposite almost, but it makes it really offensive and like you can't. It's harder to slow play into it.
Yeah. That's nice.
I mean, you have to cleave it basically, right?
Yeah. And then that would actually make it
and then
so
the fact that he also has
speed
the
lead-
33% speed lead
Yep.
becomes threatening, right? I don't
Yeah,
know. It'd be a
so-
cool
so-
idea.
Yeah. You either try to cleave and contend for speed or try to bruiser, and then bruiser, you have a much higher chance of losing because of the losing health issue.
Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
Kind of like the Dark Oni Myoji, but different.
Oni, yeah,
Oni
yeah,
Myoji,
yeah, yeah. Similar. All right. What's your unit you want to talk about?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Water Ryu. Nerf him.
We're not even
Immediately.
using water Ryu right now. Come on. Come
Nerf-
on, dude.
I-
Like, we're not even in regular league right now, and you're
I'm
complaining
kidding.
about water
I'm kidding.
Ryu.
I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding. But I'm also not kidding.
Oh
Anyway,
man.
I'm with you.
I think I mentioned them earlier as Phantom Thieves. They're just a worthless family.
You want them to
and
be
they need-
buffed.
I do. I want them to be buffed. I want them to have some sort of value and use because they have some cool transmogs. And I'd like to use them because I bought them for some reason a long time ago, and they just sit in storage. Phantom Thieves are just kind of worthless. I don't know how to make them better, other than with the current way things are, give them
I got
lots more hits.
I got 2 words for you. Easy answer. You ready? Sean B.
Oh,
That's
great.
the answer. Sean
Alright.
B's the reason he'll never get buffed.
Oh.
All right, Sean. Let's fight it out in RTA. Bring all your Phantom
Bring out your Phantom.
wins.
Oh man. No,
You're
I think the big thing for them is like scaling or stats. They're missing both. They need one or the other, right? Like their kits are cool. They're not like super efficient. They're cool, but like if you increase scalings or increase stats, they could be better. Especially
they're
the water
sure.
one. The water
They're
one has a
scaling
really
better
cool
than
mechanic
Garbage,
already.
Yeah.
The
Better
water
base
one is
stats.
not bad.
Lure is
But
pretty.
That was
weak.
pretty
They
good.
just don't do enough damage, and they're not like tanky enough, so they're kind of like in that in between like awkward state.
It's
where
the
you just get
wind one
fucked.
that's really bad.
The
Yeah.
win one.
Like-
is
like
The light one's
trash.
pretty trash too. The light one's pretty bad.
I mean, the light one gives you invincibility, right? So that's some like gimmick you can use. Like the wind one is not much of a gimmick, except he's an AoE stunner that doesn't stun.
yeah.
They're just bad. They need a buff. I'd like them to be relevant in some part of the game somewhere. I don't really care where.
And they have nice skins too, so it's a real waste.
They do
That's
have
what I
nice
was
skins.
saying. That's what I was saying. I got the transmogs. I can't even. They're just sitting in storage.
That's the real shame, really. That's number one.
They got some nice transmogs. Yeah.
They do.
Also, Fermion is terrible. I guess I should mention that just briefly. But yeah, I say it all the time. I don't need to go over it again.
It's a good reminder.
It is. It just we all threw out our LDs, so I had to throw out mine.
I mean, Fermion's pretty good siege unit defense. One of those random throwing LD ones that's actually like he's in like the middle of the pack versus most LD defenses right now, which is not that good. Because he's just really tanky, right? And then he has the potential to violent proc, kill things, and disrupt.
It's so hard for him to be super good. I'm okay with him, but only because I use it in a G1 farming siege guild. Like that's why it gets wins. Like I don't know, you're in G3. You could tell both
Like
of you.
it's one of those.
me.
It's a unit that can't be Lucianed. That's what I would go for. That's what I would say, right? And he's a bruiser that strips plus provokes plus. If you don't kill him and you kill the other ones, his damage increases by a lot, and he could violent proc and kill things.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think he's too easy to control. That's my opinion. And,
Yeah, if
and
you
that's
can control, that's a
so
different story.
how I would buff him is either make him immune to attack bar decrease, or not both, or immune to defense break. I think either one would make him physically
half attack bar reduction, like Masha, right?
That'd be cool
Yeah,
too.
pretty
Like
cool.
something along
Right.
those lines.
I think immune to defense break would be too
It
strong.
might be a little too strong.
If he was
I like
immune to
it.
defense break, you'd still beat him because additional damage and control is so strong, right? But if you reduce like the attack bar reduction, then you
I
can
think
kind
you're
of just
thinking
dumpster people.
in RTA, but in the additional damage plus control isn't as effective in siege. So if you put it on defense, right, he could just like violence just great for him. So he just does a ton of damage, and the fact that the entire team's there, he gets 75 damage reduction. Was it 70 or 75? I don't know the exact number. But
75.
he's a tank. You could build him with a lot of defense and a lot of crit damage, speed, and he just won't die.
And I get that, and that he has his
Yeah.
place in Siege.
Yeah.
I just don't get to use him in RTA, but I guess
Yeah.
it's okay.
If he healed a little, is this passive already a wall of text or not really?
It's
I don't know.
not. It's not. It could have some
Already
more-
a wall of
It could have.
text.
It's
If it's
got
not a
room.
wall of text, we could add like a little like 10% heal per hit.
It's pretty short. It's pretty short.
It's pretty short, yeah.
Add
It's not,
some rum. You can add
I mean,
some stuff.
we can
in
buff
there.
up that passive. Just
I'm not
fill
trying
it.
to knock Fermion down because I think he's in a decent place. A small little buff would be good, but immunity to defense pick would probably be too much.
Do you think that if we gave him minus 50% attack bar reduction effects, so like attack bar reducing effects are half as effective, and gave him 10% vampire, do you think he'd be too strong? Or do you think he'd be
No.
okay? I think
That's
that'd be
good.
fine. I think he'd be
That's
like,
fine.
he'd be
Yeah.
good enough to use, but he'd still be like not OP.
Yeah, with a 10% vamp, he could definitely be like a solo. Like he's already like a solo unit when things are dying, and you bring like a really bad like offensive unit like squishies. He
Mhm.
could kill the entire team. But 10% vamp, yeah, not bad.
That's what I was saying.
I'll take it.
But attack bar, reducing the attack bar, I think more units need that kind of a thing. Attack bar manipulation is stupid. That's how I
That-
leave my playthrough.
Yeah, that's like the meta.
They
You
need
know,
more
in
units.
regular RTA.
They actually need it more.
But yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'd take it.
Yeah, because he could actually like go to full HP with a skill 2, but if he is as his teammates die, because he increases his damage by 75%. So yeah, that would actually do. That's
That
pretty
life
good.
drain, you get
Yeah.
stolen by that thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I console you.
I'm down. I'm down for it.
Because even though he gets the increase in 70%, he still has like what, a 30% increase in damage with less. No, he has 30% damage reduction because he still has that initial damage reduction. It doesn't go to 0. It's just a swap over.
I need to say something before I have to potentially close the podcast here because of time. I just read in chat our director say Arda is hardly better than Fermion.
Wrong. Can I?
What?
Can I say wrong?
I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
I've seen Fermion twice in RTA in the last year. And I'm pretty sure in the last year I've played over 1,500 matches.
it was probably me bringing it as a joke.
I just don't get it. I don't get how Fermion can be even close to that.
It's not even remotely there. But it's not like Arda's super good in the meta. But no, it's not. They're not
but
even
man.
close.
Arda's still better.
Like, I agree Arda's not like OP in the meta right now, but Arda is definitely better than Fermion is. Okay, if Ardamil is like a 7 in the meta, Fermion is like a 2. Like I would much rather have a Geldnir every day of the week. Right?
2. That's pretty generous. I don't know about that. Maybe a 1.
Well, I'm not
One's-
twisting your words because you said Arda is hardly better than Fermion, right? Like you're saying like on a scale there's maybe like a 10 to 20% difference. I'm saying there's like a 70% difference. Like it's specifically the word hardly because it diminishes the value difference between the comparisons.
They also do
And
two
I think-
different things though, so it's not like you can compare them with.
Well, I
Yeah,
also thought,
Fermion does one thing and that's it. He only does Guild Wars offense.
I also thought about
Meaning.
an interesting buff to make Fermion like the opposite of Arda, where if a unit doesn't crit, it revenges it as another potential buff idea for his passive. I just thought that was a cool concept, but yeah, anyway. Because there's all these units now that don't crit, you know, like the Onimushas, people building lower crit to deal with things.
It's
Well,
good
that
against
could be-
supports too.
So
Gonna
then,
get
would you
support.
build Fermion as Despair though? No, I still think Violent is way better than.
No.
Violent.
Violent is way better. But
So
I think it'd be
yeah, I
cool.
was gonna say what happens if someone has Ardamil Fermion. Yeah, right there.
Yes, you're screwed. That's correct.
Ardamil Fermion suddenly becomes the most painful thing in the entire world to fight.
Fermion, Ragdoll, Amelia, X. Good
Oh,
luck.
And Molly.
But I still
Arda,
agree with
Fermion,
Stoic.
Ragdoll, Molly. Yes.
I think Arda needs to be buffed. I agree with Stoic.
No.
You need to relax. You need to relax.
Just because he's the poster boy
Jesus.
doesn't mean he needs to be the most broken, alright? But I know we're just
Jesus. We would see our boy Psycho Thompson back. Oh, Do you think Sean would be OP with Speed Awakening? In the current meta, no. If you asked me this like a season or two ago, probably.
I mean, he would be like the weakest of the Speed Awakening monsters, right? Because he has a what is his speed? It's 95?
It would be
90.
It would be 110 if he was Speed Awakened, which is pretty strong. It's higher than Jamire.
Wait.
It's the same as Jamire? Jamire's 111 maybe?
Wait, Chimeras are
113.
99 speed? I thought they were like really low. Hold on, let me check.
No, they're 94. 94. You get plus 15 speed on Awaken.
94.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
I think
he
if
is
they gave that
94.
if they gave that buff right now, it would probably be okay, just because single target damage dealers are not as strong. However, the AoE control is pretty good because the speed buff is very strong. Because you'd have like Water Ryu, Sean, Chungpong setups where, and then you'd also have people who like, because you could use it into, I don't know, it's kind of scary. I think overall it's not the worst thing. It's not like overpowered. It's not like ridiculous. It's not like you're buffing a unit to become, I don't know what I would compare it to. It's not like you're making a pre-nerf Leica, right? Like you're just making a really good unit. It's really all it comes down to. I think it would be pretty fair. Because you're taking away what? Accuracy Awakening? Crit Awakening? Probably Crit Awakening. That's what I would guess. You're taking away Accuracy Awakening. That's fine. I think taking away Accuracy Awakening's fine. Units without Accuracy Awakening, you need like insanely good rune quality to really like get them there. Like Chungpong needs really good rune quality to get there, because either you're no accuracy or you're really squishy, right? So it would just take a lot, because on Sean you'd also want crit, so it's like it's even harder than building like almost like harder than building a Chungpong, right? You need accuracy, you need speed, you need crit. Well, you probably actually don't need crit damage in that case. You probably just want crit rate rune. And then like hard accuracy on your stats.
Yeah, you don't really need crit damage. You just take additional damage.
You don't. Well, it doesn't really do anything for Sean.
Right, well, for
additional
Sean,
damage wise.
I'm just thinking like we're talking about the stats in general. Yeah.
Oh, I see a baby.
Baby's coming in.
Okay. We didn't really have too much time to get into like a lot more about like questions from the community and stuff. So the compromise I will make is next podcast we will allocate a lot more time to questions from the community. I have to go. I have things I need to do. Thank you guys so much for being here on the podcast. I know that Stoic and I think Agent Smith are going to talk about some stuff after the podcast, so you guys are welcome to do that. If you guys want to stick around, check it out, ask your questions, etc. The reason I want to allocate a lot more time to questions from the community next podcast, and I actually want to start it with that, is because there are a bunch of people from the YouTube side of things that have been like putting out good suggestions or things we should talk about. And there are a couple really good ones. So I want to bring that up next time. Look forward to it. If there are any guests you guys want on, let me know. Let Stoic know, etc. We're always looking for more people. We're always especially looking for more people who are focused on Siege or people who are focused on metas from different servers and stuff, because we all play a lot of RTA, right? All of us play a lot of RTA. We all see the RTA meta. It's the same everywhere. But when you go in to do things like Siege or you talk about like Arena, then it changes, right? It changes every server. So make sure that you tell them to message us, because it's kind of annoying asking 10 billion people and then never ever hearing anything back. So yeah, just message us. You guys know how to contact us. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. And I want to say again, thank you guys for being here. Billy, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming back after work and just jumping right on the podcast. Firas, thank you for also doing the same thing. Get home from work.
No, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for filling in, sir. I always appreciate when you can join us on short notice.
Indeed.
All right. Week 7, I think. Okay. Goodbye, friends. Thank you so much.